Good day, everyone. Welcome to Opus Clip Office Hours. I'm your host, James Hicks from Hicks New Media. And today, as every show, it's going to be a good show, but it's going to be even better today because got someone sit behind the scenes to help us walk through and talk specifically about the platform, specifically about some of the use cases, specifically about some of the features that are here today and coming tomorrow. I'm gonna twist his arm a little bit and see if we can get some things. We're not gonna go NDA or anything, but we're just gonna find out what we can talk about. Listen, if you got any questions, put a Q in front of it in the comments. You see, I got a poll running as well, asking if you have any experience with Opus Clip. But let's go ahead and get into it. And you don't just want to see me. Let me get this other guy on the screen. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, look, Connor Elliott is in the building.
How's it going, James? Great to see you.
Man, listen, let's get into it, man. I tell you what, tell folks who it is and what it is that you do. I got your title there, but what does that really mean? Who is Connor Elliott?
Yeah, absolutely. So as James said, I'm Connor. I run creator partnerships here at Opus Clip. My goal specifically on the team is to work with creators of all kinds. So I work with our awesome brand partners like you, who help educate and inform our audience about what's going on in the Opus Clip world. And I also work with a ton of other creators, big and small, to put out content about Opus, to make sure that they're using the platform. They're able to use the platform for a variety of different use cases. And then I dabble in a bunch of other stuff, from outreaching big creators, building relationships with people that can help us out and help us grow. And finally, some of our corporate partners as well, because we've had some big names recently, like the NFL, who have officially signed up and become Opus Clip partners. So really
Wait a minute,
excited.
hold on, man! Don't just gloss over that. Wait, hold up. See, don't be humble around here, brother. Let's see, I'm making joke of that and kind of being facetious, but that kind of sets the stage. It kind of sets the standard of who we're talking with and who we're dealing with. So you got NFL signed up. You might want to
Yeah,
help them. Might want to help them Jets, and you might want to help them Giants out. But never mind. We'll talk about that on another show.
Yeah, I feel
Okay.
bad for the Jets. Definitely feel bad for the Jets. I was actually excited to see what they could do this year, but still optimistic with that
Yeah.
defense. Anyway, yeah, I think obviously, to give you some context on sort of our timeline, right? James, you've been around for a minute with Opus. You've been a big supporter of everything we've been doing here for a while, but we have been working since last year on this clipping tool. And we only just launched the paid version, version 1.0, on June 8th. So just giving you that context, right? We've only been fully in operation for 3 months, and yeah, we've been able to make some waves already. So really excited about that. Um, NFL, I don't know, how to what extent I'm allowed to talk about it at this point. I know we're at the very final stages. We signed some stuff with them so that we can officially start bragging about working with them. But basically, at this stage, they've been using us for a couple months now, just playing around with the tool, and they finally realized, okay, this is something that we can use at scale. So we've partnered with them. We're partnering with other big companies like Patreon, iHeartRadio. And we also have a couple other podcast networks like the Audiorama podcast network, which is run by tight end Greg Olson and Vince Vaughn. So we've been able to find some really cool corporate partners so far. But I think, it really just shows that, it took us time, right? As you know, James, at the beginning, we had really cool AI people that really knew their stuff. And we had people that, sort of understood the creator economy and the creator space. And we were trying to figure out how to put all of the pieces together, right? It's easier said than done in this industry, because the industry landscape, as you guys know, as creators, is constantly changing. And that makes it a little bit challenging to figure out, okay, what is the next thing going to be? Where are things heading here? And the rise of short form, I think, has been something that's been happening and coming for several years, but I think most people didn't realize, just how important it was going to become for their channels. And I think a lot of YouTubers, especially legacy YouTubers, are still sort of playing catch up, right? Where they realize, like, okay, I'm not getting the viewership on my videos that I was 1 year ago or even 6 months ago, right? At the beginning of this year, a lot changed where the YouTube will punish you now if you're not involved in shorts form. Short form has become the
I say that.
discoverability.
That's true. Yes, sir.
Short form has become the discoverability tool by which you can go out and find people to say, hey, like this is my content. I'm doing really cool stuff here. Here's a little taste. Here's a little snippet of what I'm doing here on this channel. Now, whether you're doing live streams or you're doing long form video content, or even just putting together, 5-minute videos for your YouTube, people want to know what they're investing their time into.
Mm-hmm.
When I get new videos on my feed, with the exception of something random popping up like raw 9/11 footage yesterday, right? Like I
Yeah.
watched some of that last
Yeah.
night, just because it's the anniversary and it pops up on your feed and you're like, okay, I'll check this out. Outside of the sort of things that are time based or very specific, for the most part, I only click on the videos that where I recognize the creator, or I end up finding new creators that is through short form, right? I scroll through my feed, whether it's on TikTok or Reels or on YouTube, and you can get through 20 pieces of short form content in a very short amount of time. And through that, you're like, oh, actually, I really like what this person's doing. And let me go check them out. And before you know it, boom, I'm a subscriber. So, that's sort of for me on the consumer end. That's the process by which I go out and I find new creators. And I know most people are the same these days. And so I think, in order to be able to get your stuff in front of new audiences, if you want to grow, you have to have that short form content.
Yeah.
But if you really want to capture their attention, and more importantly, if we're talking seriously, monetize that attention, you still need the long form. So, I think, short form creators are great. We met with tons of them when we were at VidCon this spring. But they're flash in the pan. So many TikTokers that we met there are like, who are you? Oh yeah, I've got 5 million subs. Wow, that's amazing. You go to their channel and they're averaging like 400 views per video, right? It's you blow up and then you're gone in 6 months. If you want to build sustained success, you need to bring content to people that they actually want to listen to and that they want to be able to invest their time into you. And I think that's what's so special about the creator economy and just content in general and video content, is that you get to put yourself out there. You get to be in front of the camera and share something special with your audience about who you are, whether it's a special interest, something that you really care about, or just want to spend time with other people and goof around like I do with my fantasy football group, where we make silly videos every week, trash talking each other. Whatever you're using video content for, Opus Clip definitely is going to help you turn that into bite-sized pieces, and that's what we're all about here.
Dude, I just mic drop moment. And listen, I was quiet specifically and consciously because I'm gonna feed everything that you said. And shouts out to Ecamm because I got separate audio track, and that's going to be my Opus clip for this session in about 2 hours, right? I
Nice.
mean, but that's it, right? And I especially like the fact because I'll typically talk to the folks that are deeper in the weeds, right? The 200, 300 level, that want to know how stuff works, as opposed to talking at it from the consumer side. And you just
Mhm.
brought that consumer perspective in terms of the value and what's in it for them. Yeah, we could get into how all of the AI works. We can get into the relationship with OpenAI. We can talk about all that stuff. And you just were talking about things that resonate with the everyday consumer. NFL. You just talked about some other brand partnerships and other brand relationships and how to take what we're already doing, right? If we're digital content creators and we're out here doing 30, 45 minute, 60-minute sessions, it just makes sense. And in terms of being able to grow that audience and to grow that community, to chop it up into micro content and more bite-sized pieces, because that's how society is now, right? We're flipping left and right, 30, 60 seconds. That's is who we are, and that's what we do. And that piece of the workflow, most of the folks that I talk to that are in this business, that are in this game, that are in this hustle, that's the piece right there. We're not all masters at the video content editing game like my man Chris Stone, who's in the comments right here. Listen, that man right there is a master. Not everyone has that Superman level capability, but using something like an Opus clip to use that virality score, find those 30, 60, 90-second pieces of a long form video and chop that up. Come on, man. Come on. And so here again, because I always talk to this was a conversation that I had with Young and Libby and Rebecca when they were physically sitting in this room. And you mentioned it as well. We'll advocate for companies, startups, and programs and tools that we like. We'll advocate for them. But man, what's your monetization strategy? Are you going to be around? We'll pay attention to what we pay for, right? So the fact that you've got those types of companies that are already embracing and using the platform, that makes us as the creators and the users of the platform much more willing and wanting to talk about and to use as well. Because listen, you're going to be around for a minute. You're gonna be around for a minute, right? So that's really cool as well. I'm giving you these flowers, man. Man, I need some more. I need some like
Another son.
there we go. I need some sound effects, man. God, I'm over here
Right.
dropping all these flowers for you.
No, but honestly, like, I think we're just getting started, right? Like, I think we have a really good image of, we knew what product we needed to make to get to market and to figure out, okay, this is a clear need, right? People need short form content. As I Am Tallboy said, that's all people want is 30
That's all we
seconds. And
want.
that's because we're competing in the attention economy, right? This is the same problem that even movie theaters are running into, where it's like, okay, do people really want to invest 2.5 hours of their time into something? They want to know that it's worth the hype first, right?
Yeah.
And even a lot of trailers, I think, run really long, and so many movie trailers these days, they give you the whole movie in the trailer, and it's kind of like, well, I saw it. That was great. Don't really need to go see the whole 2 hour thing now. So I think what you see is people want that little bite-sized piece where, okay, I've gotten a feel for it. I know what I'm getting myself into.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm willing to commit that time to this, as opposed to 30 minutes of video games, 30 minutes of Netflix, 30 minutes of so many different ways that we can use our downtime or our background time when we're at work, or our chilling time, right? Like, people are online more than ever, but that doesn't mean that there aren't more things to do than ever. And speaking to that other part of what you're saying, I think that's the thing that surprised me most, and I think surprised our team most. Going back to that early conversation, right? We are so focused on creators, and we didn't realize how many people out there are dealing with video content in one way or another. Tons of them aren't creators, right? We found everything from realtors who, like, okay, they have to do digital house showings, right? In the post-COVID era, so a lot of people like to do the digital tours now before they show up and check out the house in person. They have to make video content for that, where they're showing around the house. We have lawyers who have to go through hours and hours of depositions and figure out what are the highlight moments of this that we can play in the courtroom. We have a lot of business owners who are like, I'm the CEO of XYZ company, and I have to do these conventions and panels all the time, and I'm stuck with all this footage. I'm not going to go hire out an editor because, just so I can post it on my personal LinkedIn to build my own brand up. But with Opus Clip, it's, it suddenly makes at least creating a bite-sized piece of content accessible to everybody. And we're getting to the long form stuff too. We're starting to play around with it because we do want to be able to cut an hour of, talking head panel, or an hour of, whatever footage you have, down into also like a 5-minute segment or a 10-minute segment, where you can really get all the highlights compiled into one. Something we're working on. It's definitely a long-term plan of ours, but we see a ton of different potential use cases out there based on sort of the core model that we've built.
Okay. So what's highlighted and what's listed on the site right now in terms of, again, what videos and what formats work best, talking head, one-on-one interviews, things like that. Obviously, that's going to continue to be there, but I guess I want to read into what you just said. You're expanding to maybe include some of those multi-person, some of those Twitch streamer types of things, some of those different types of iterations and interactions and content that people are creating. You're not stopping and resting on just doing what works today, but some of those other types of content creators as well. Is that?
Yeah, even more than
I'm
that.
not
Like,
gonna put stuff in your mouth, man. Don't let me do
no,
that, because I'll have you coming out with the lotto numbers and you won't even
no,
know it. So.
you're being too safe with it, if anything.
I am. Listen,
What,
I'm not gonna
what,
mess up this check. Oh, no. I ain't gonna mess this check up. No.
what you're talking about is the stuff that's right around the corner, right?
Yeah.
So, like, we have things like our screen share layout. That's right around the corner. That's going to make it much more accessible to people that are live streaming and have tons of stuff up on the screen next to them while they're talking. Or things like being able to put we already have a 3 to 4 speaker layout. It's live now. It's available for you guys to try out, and we're going to be adding even more layouts for more speakers. So, if you're dealing with like a fresh and fit or whatever pod where you've got like 10 people all
Mm,
sitting around together in a room, you can have every single person up there squeezed into, and squeezed into the screen. What I'm talking about is we're going to be built. We're starting the process of building out a modular system for every type of content. So sports footage, gaming footage, right? Even eventually music videos, although that one's a tricky one.
wow.
Being able to take that kind of content and then use multiple different, basically run that same video through multiple different AI models, each looking for something different, right? So, for instance, we're doing this right now. We started to play around with this with vlogs, for instance, for a little bit, right? Because we noticed a lot of vloggers are already using our tool,
Yeah,
and what we're
actually, I
trying to
sent you
do.
a couple of folks that I believe a couple of them are listening right now. Make sure you reach out
Okay,
to
yeah,
those vloggers that I
yeah,
recommended, man.
absolutely,
Come on, man, talk to
absolutely,
my man, Tall Boy.
will do. Tallboy, I'm sorry, I was supposed to reach out to you last week. That's
There
on
you
me.
go. I've done my due diligence. Live on screen. Connor and Tall Boy, y'all connect, get together, make it happen. Okay, there we
Uh,
go.
Absolutely. So yeah, so basically, with vloggers, for instance, we're trying to run multiple models. So we're still trying to figure out what that is. That's why we're trying to talk to vloggers. But we're thinking, okay, we'll have one model that's just looking to build the perfect 1 minute summary of this entire 30-minute, 1 hour long vlog. And then we're also going to run it through a separate model that's just trying to find vignettes, right? Those cute little moments where you have like
Mm,
an interaction with someone on the street, or you had something, you petted a cute puppy, stuff like that. And this is the first time we're really mixing in a mix of visual cues plus plus the actual transcript itself. So there's going to be a lot more sections in there that are
okay.
non-speaking as well. Now, the speaking driven stuff, unless it's something that's really engaging happening visually on the screen, we found that the speaking driven stuff, it just performs better in short form because
Yeah.
there's so little time in general, right? Nobody wants to watch you meditate for 60 seconds. They're going to scroll past in 3 seconds, right? If you can fit some of that really nice, really great cinematography work, good camera shots, exciting moments, cute animals, all that kind of stuff that is like, okay, this is the stunning 3 to 5 seconds in the middle of this video or in the first 10 seconds of this video that is going to help engage the user. We want to make sure that that can get in there as well. So that's what we're starting to work on. It's going to be a process, right? I'm not promising that this is going to come out tomorrow,
Like
but
everything.
I
Yeah.
think we're working towards it. One of the things that's awesome about our team is we've got a big team,
Mm.
and that gives us the luxury of being able to have specific teams dedicated to both what's coming out tomorrow and some of the long term stuff as well.
Love that. And for folks who may not know, and I'll just say this, and hopefully I'm not out of school again, right? A lot of the folks that are at Opus Clip have extended experience in the short form content world, right? They came from places like ByteDance, right? So they get it,
Yeah.
and they know how to they know how to keep people on their devices and engaged and things of that nature. So that's at the core and that's at the heart of what's being built. Let me ask this though. Again, I put that poll out there and I asked, "Are you using Opus Clip?" 33% say yes, 67% said no. Right now, we got zero saying, "What the heck is Opus Clip?" So that's good that that's
That's
zero. But I'd be curious to know for the creators that are listening right now and watching right now, if you're not using it, why are you not using it? Right. So definitely put that in the comments so Connor and I can go through that and kind of help you out with maybe getting over some of that learning curve because that's what this is all about. That's what Office Hours is all about. Really, just answering your questions and helping you get through the process. Let me bring something else up, man, real quick because I want to make sure that for the folks that are using it, that they're getting some value and maybe getting some money, maybe getting some credits too. Clipathon is happening, so shouts out to the team at Opus Clip for providing an avenue for creators to not just create content, highlight that they're using the platform, but also so this one right here. Let me make sure I get this right. I don't want this. I don't want to speak out of turn. Opus Clip is offering $500 plus, not or, plus 50 hours worth of video credit. Come on, man.
Yep.
Explain the
Exactly.
fine. There's got to be some fine print. I was looking for the fine print, but this all you got to do is create a clip either about Opus Clip or using Opus Clip. Use the hashtag created with Opus Clip, somebody's watching it. Connor's watching it. Rebecca's watching it. Somebody's looking at it to make sure that it's out there on whatever the platform: TikTok, YouTube Short, Facebook, LinkedIn,
Exactly.
IG, things of that nature. Come on, man. $500 plus 50 hours worth of credit.
Yeah, and this is not even like a marketing gimmick or anything. This is just us trying to give back to our community. We actually have other things, exciting things planned that I can't talk about that are around the corner that are more marketing focused, where we're working with big creators to go out there and say, hey, clip my content using Opus. And we're going to do some exclusive clip-a-thon style takeovers with some big creators. But outside of that, this is purely for our Opus Clip users. This is for our community. We want to give back to you guys, and we want to make sure that one of our biggest challenges is between the because of the one, the way that we've set up our security systems so that be compliant with GDPR and everything, and also just
Mm-hmm.
make sure that your own footage is secure, because we do have people like the NFL that are doing have footage that is maybe not public yet that they want to be able to throw in there. Because of those systems, we don't always have visibility on where stuff is going out, where it's getting posted, who's using
Oh,
Opus
good
Clip.
point. Yeah.
So that's one of our main goals for this. From our own selfish point of view, is we want to see who you guys are, right? That's the same reason why we did the creator stories that you talked about a couple of weeks ago, right? Where we want to see who are the people that really are enjoying Opus Clip so far. Who are they? What do they like about us? And this is sort of in a similar vein, but instead of we don't need you to talk us up. We just want to see you go out there and perform, right? I think a lot of people ask, and we have these, I have these conversations all the time where it's like, okay, it clips your content using AI, but does it work, right?
Mm.
There are specific examples I can point to where, hey, this guy got 5 million views, this guy got, over 1 million views on a single clip. But having one specific cherry picked point isn't the goal of this, right? We want to see our whole community come out, come support us, and obviously get some pretty cool rewards as well, where we can say, hey, I'm an Opus Clip user. Here's a hot clip fresh off the shelf. Throw on the hashtag. That's all you have to do. Just throw a hashtag in the video description, and we will see it. We will rank it, and yeah, right now the leaderboard is wide open. So there's still about a week left in the competition, I think, or a little more than a week. So yeah, start putting your content together, figure out what's going to clip well, and that's a final part of the process. I think that I think a lot of people don't really realize is the reason we give you those 90 minutes isn't for you to drop in a single 90-minute video and then
Come on.
see what kind of results you can get. We want you, and that's the other reason why we created the ability to pick out a chunk of the video that you want to clip. We want you guys clipping 10, 20-minute little segments. Figure out, okay, let me take this chunk out of this video, or let me take this one video of mine and drop it in there and see how it works, right? And then you can look at the results and say, okay, how many results did I get that were above 95 score? How many did I get that were above 90 score? How many did I get that were above 80 score, right? And I think that's really important, because if you're not doing that, then you don't know what's going to clip well, right? It's easy for us, like, we have that little thing in there. It's like, it works well for this kind of content. It doesn't work well for this kind of content. But that's very general advice, right? Everybody's content's unique. Your
Right.
setup's unique. Your camera angles are unique. And, the way that you talk and interact with your audience is obviously going to be specific to you. So figuring out little things that you can do to try to improve that a little bit, I think that's the key to figuring out how to maximize Opus. And the people that have figured that out, they're getting really good results. So that's part of
Yeah.
this clipathon as well, is to sort of showcase the people that they figured out how to crack the code already. They're getting great results out of Opus, and they're crushing it. So
That's
um,
that's 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 really cool. And I've got something. I want to scroll down on the page.
yeah, go for it.
Talk about something about the credits piece right there. But again, remember, I'm an old man, so I forget things. But you just mentioned something about taking your content and not just assuming that Opus is going to cut it up and create what you actually want the outcome to be. So don't be lazy. Be more intentional about what you feed into the system. Don't just take that whole 60, 90-minute session, but find that first or that last 20 minutes of it, and then let the AI go through that. Again, be intentional and be conscious about what you feed in. That way you can be more effective with your credit usage as well. Now, that that's a little gem that you just dropped right there. So I want to put that in there. But
For sure.
folks are probably concerned or questioning. So yeah, you got the clipathon, but I'm on a free plan. Oh, don't worry about that. Don't worry. Listen, don't trip if you're on the free plan. You can still enter and be part of this whole deal and get that $500 and or the 50 hours worth of credit. So it'll just have the watermark on it. But again, there's no excuse for entering this opportunity. And this is the second one, and this one's even better than the first one. Who knows what Rebecca's going to come with on the next one? But get in on this right here, folks. Auto reframe has the watermark. After 7 days, the clips will no longer be viewable. But still, if you're free and you want to engage and interact and be a participant in this clipathon, no excuse, because it's a good deal. It's a good deal. Let me get back to some of these questions, man. I saw Tallboy saying can't get Opus Clip to give me that vertical look that James has. Uh, you should be able to, man. Log back in because all of that capability is now built in, and then with the auto reframing, so it'll actually frame the content by itself effectively. And with manual reframe, you can actually kind of, I'm going to say force it, but you can actually make it look the way that you want to. So I believe, Tallboy, you were doing it before some of that. You were trying to do it before that feature and that functionality was available, right? You were trying to force the system, but now it's actually part of the platform. So try it again, man, and let me know for sure about that.
Yeah, and do you mind if I? Well, I mean, yeah. Are we good on the clipathon? Do we want to touch on anything else there?
Man,
Because if
I'm all
not, let me.
about you, brother. I got a cup of coffee. I'm fine. We can go all day, right?
All
I
right,
got unlimited bandwidth.
I'm gonna pop open a share screen here.
This man, he know about sharing screens. Lord have mercy.
And I think so many people miss this, and they make mistakes where they think that you have to select one of these layouts here. You don't have to select a layout. You can just leave all of them on. That's what I always do. And then you for the fit format, which is what you got here, you can select different fits, right? So like if I want it one to one layout. In the fit format, I can choose 1-to-1. Here I have original ratio, which is why it's so wide. And there's such big bezels. But for this piece of content, for instance, right? I think a lot of people they unselect split because like, oh, I don't need that for this video, and then they go and they hit save and compile, or they hit save brand default template. That's the biggest mistake that I see consistently is people save their template with specific layout settings selected, and that's going to automatically apply those settings to all your future projects. So if you're having trouble getting that together in terms of figuring out how to get that vertical look, it's probably because you're not using the layout settings. But let me see what you said here. So you technically have to cut up and then send it to Opus. No, you don't have to. You don't have to cut it up. I think. I mean, if you want, you go ahead and drop the link to whatever video that you're having trouble cutting up. And I'm happy to give it a try and figure out what's going on there. I'm happy to help out anybody. And if any of you guys in general are having any issues with Opus Clip, if you have any questions, in a minute here, we're going to get into a little bit about what's coming up and what we just dropped. But yeah, I'm always happy to go through with creators, figure out what's not clipping right, what's clipping great, and help you guys sort of figure out and unlock yourselves with Opus. So yeah, I'm Tallboy. If you have a link, please drop that YouTube link to us here in the chat, and I'm happy to take a look at it with you right now.
Yeah, I think, hey, Tallboy, you got access. You can drop links in the chat. Not, I make sure that not everyone can just drop links in my chat, but but I think he's got access. And so here's another segue, I guess. Make sure you're part of the Discord community for Opus, right? Because
Yes,
we're incredibly active in there. Not just myself and the other brand partners, but Connor and the whole engineering team, the whole program and project team. So we're pretty active in there. And if you got any issues with usability, functionality, requests, somebody's on it real quick, and they follow the sun, right? So it's not just folks in California and Atlanta, man. It's folks all over the place that are answering these questions.
exactly.
First of all, you just knew about bringing in, picture in picture and sharing screens. You got a little eCam in you too, man. Okay, because you can't do that.
Hey, I mean, my background is with
I see you, boy.
It's with QSM. It was all live streaming back then. So, live streaming is where I started.
I see
Working.
you. Well, okay. Recognize what's going on. All right, man. Let's go and get focused again right here. I see folks that are asking
Yeah.
questions. People that coming in. Appreciate you. Uh, so we talked about the Clipathon. I want to talk about um, access to information again. So we talked about the Discord community and if there are featured functionality requests. Yeah, it's built into. Well, you've got the site right here, opusclip.canny.io, and you see that running across the bottom lower third. But I like the fact that now the team has actually integrated that into the questions on the site itself, right? So you can actually go to the site, see where at the bottom where it says "Have questions," and it'll say "See our roadmap" or add a request. So that's already integrated as well, and you can get into that information. So again, there's multiple avenues for getting to the team and asking questions and getting the information that you need.
Yeah, absolutely. We admit that we probably hadn't done the best job with getting information to you directly on the website previously. We were just focused on trying to build an awesome app. Like I said at the beginning, we've only been at this for a few months, so bear with us. But lately we've been focusing a lot more on trying to deliver a lot more information to you inside the website. There are also a lot more tips now, sort of built into the waiting page, built into other parts of the website, and hopefully we'll get some brand partner content in there as well. So that should hopefully help you out.
Sound like I got
But
some
yeah,
homework when you said it. You had a little tone when you said that, man. Almost like I got some homework to do. Okay.
I mean, we did talk about your homework yesterday. I'm
We
still
showed,
waiting for
man. We showed. Yeah, see, there we go. Okay.
it.
Get me in,
Absolutely.
get,
But
get
yeah,
me in trouble here on the lives. I see folks coming out. I appreciate you for pairing the LinkedIn and the Opus YouTube channels as well. So we got folks jumping in from that side. So love that piece right there.
for sure.
All right, man. So let's get what you got, brother. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no. So I think the next thing I wanted to talk about, if you don't mind, is let's talk about our caption transitions because I've been really excited about these.
Great
I
minds
think
thinking alike here, brother. Great
yeah,
minds thinking alike. I
I
want
think
to show folks again. So for the 67% who haven't used Opus Clip before, though,
let's give them a
I'm logged
walkthrough.
into my dashboard right now, and the reason that you see kind of a different view here, you see some that have the thumbnails and some that don't have the thumbnail. The ones that do have the thumbnail are because I use the actual YouTube URL and link and imported that into Opus. The ones that don't have the thumbnail, like these top three right here, was because I used a local file on my machine and actually uploaded that in Opus. So I can either use a local file on my machine or I can use something from Google Drive, a couple of other platforms that are either coming real soon if they're not already active. Before I clip into that, you want to talk about that right there too, man. So true videographers have got some platforms as well that can go right into Opus. You want to talk about that while I log into this?
Yeah, absolutely. So we just added Vimeo, and we also added Rumble. And then next we're working on Dropbox, and finally Premiere is going to be the big one
My
here
goodness.
by the
Come
end of
on, man.
October. Once we have Premiere, once you can just drop files directly, drag and drop files over from your Adobe Cloud, I think that's going to be the final straw. When I think we'll finally have made it. Until then, I'm still holding my breath. But
Yeah, right now we're just playing. But once you actually get out of them streets and you got a dope, come on, folks. Again, no excuses. So that's the kind of company that we're talking about. All right, so
yeah,
here's a session that I did the other day. Going to be live, so I don't know if Young, Libby, and Grace are watching because again, we actually going to do a live demo of what's going on.
yeah,
Put a clip in. This was an hour long live stream that I did. Immediately it was able to create and produce. Don't get dizzy, folks, but 20, listen, over 20 some 20 okay, 25 clips with varying virality scores. Virality scores meaning again the uh, capability, probability that it'll stop the scroll. That folks will actually look at that 49-second or that minute 36-second, that 26-second clip and actually want to engage with that clip and maybe even go look at your long form piece of content. So the virality score is huge, right? Because again, it takes again some of that guesswork out of creating micro content for your sites. I could go through all of these 25, 26 clips, and I personally already did. But you'll see that you have the ability to actually thumb down or heart, as in like these particular ones as well. So I've done that with a couple already, because that 51-second, the power of content creators shaping consumers or creating them, that title came up from Opus Clip. I didn't even have to come up with that. I can edit that as well. But again, that was the hook that Opus Clip found within that particular segment, that has a 93% virality score, that someone's going to log in and someone's going to watch the entirety of that. And again, maybe go to the long form. If I go and click into that and say, edit this clip, this is pretty cool. Pretty exciting, because these new caption capabilities are definitely on point. So you got my
For sure.
transcript there, obviously, about that. So
One
if I go ahead, brother,
one thing I
walk
want to
me
add real
through.
quick.
Go
Yeah.
ahead, go ahead and
The
drive, man. Go ahead and drive.
so yeah, the place where you see the hearts and the thumb down, I don't have the exact statistics in front of me, but not a lot of you guys are using that, and it's such an
Mm,
important tool. It goes back to the old days of the rating system was on Netflix, right? And one thing a lot of us don't realize, because it was spoon fed to us, is that um, back in those early days of Netflix, when they were just getting started when they were switching from being a DVD business to an online platform, that rating system was such a huge factor in what helped them blow up, because
mm.
once it figured out what your tastes were, what you liked and what it didn't like, they had AI algorithms that were learning, right, like your preferences, and our AI is doing the same thing with these buttons right here on the left. So it is going to get better and better at figuring out what kind of content you like, what kind of content you don't, what works for you, what doesn't, right? So giving it those thumbs up, especially on the curation side, right? Like, let's say the framing isn't quite perfect. That's okay. You still like the content. You still like the piece of the video that it put together for you. Give it a like. If you don't like what it sentences it put together, if you think it doesn't make any sense, give it a thumbs down. No hard feelings. That's how the system learns, right?
It's
It's
a
like a little
neural
kid,
network.
and
It's a neural network by definition. So
exactly,
it's learning.
it's a little kid. It's trying to figure out what you want, right? It's here to help you out. But if you don't tell it what you want, right, it's just going to give you the standard result every time. So use those buttons, people.
I
Anyway,
love
let's get
that.
back into the
I
editor.
love that. Well, let's get back to that. And Neil, I see your question, a great question. We're going to get to that in just a minute, but I want to kind of keep the flow going with this particular dialogue. So here's the clip. I can play it. All right, so there it is. Got my transcript. I can edit that transcript as well. If I like highlighted a word, I can change where it starts, where it stops. I can change color schemes. I can add emojis. I can do all the things, right? I can again make this my own, as opposed to just relying on what Opus Clip created by default. So I can do all of that stuff.
Oh,
Um,
and James. Oh,
yes,
and
sir.
James.
Oh
Have you tried Clip Trimmer 2.0?
no, I have. Come on now.
Let's
Let's
go.
get it.
Let's click on believe right there. Or but then get rid of but then. Right, but then click on right but. Click on, you can select all three of those words, right but then. Just drag them.
Yeah.
All right, now click that back button.
Yeah. Oh,
Boom, and it's gone. Now it will
sure.
now start playing it. Now go back to like we got and play it.
Okay, it's gone, but I see the kind of rewind and the undo icon
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
an
So
undo button. Yeah,
okay,
go back and click on we, and now play it from there. I don't know if it's gonna work in the preview, but let's see. There you go. It's gone from the clip. So now you can remove any part of the clip that you want, including from the middle of the clip.
you can
So if you've got
remove.
filler words,
Say what you're gonna say, because I'm gonna drop some names. Well, I'm not gonna drop names, but say what you're gonna say.
yeah. So if you're someone like me that says 80,000 times per live stream and you hate it, but that's just the way you talk, you can get rid of all your now. I've already been using it for that, and I love it. So yeah, there's any if it's a full sentence in there that you don't like, if it's a single word, now you can just select it all. You press that back button, and poof, it's gone. They are able to cut it out from the middle of the clip.
Look at all the subscriptions that we pay for, right, as content creators, and the tools that we use, and this filler word removal. I think if I just say that, folks can kind of have the Pavlov dog type of reaction to that. There's a platform out there that does similar to that, plus some other things, but that's pretty cool to, again, having to eliminate another tool within the workflow, having Opus Clip go in and actually do filler word removal. So that's pretty dope, man.
Yeah.
And it worked live, which is always a good thing as well. I
Good
like
sign. Yeah.
the I like the undo button as well. So just in case it wasn't correct, so we can fix that if necessary. So that's a good thing. That's it's okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I hadn't
exactly.
done it yet.
And even though, and I know it can be a hassle though, so we are also on the verge of finishing our filler word auto removal as well. So the AI will start doing it for you automatically as well if you want it to.
Man, just let that marinate. I just had to let that marinate for a second. All right. Dan is in the building. That's Caleb. I thought that was your. What, is that it? That's probably an inside joke. He knows your family or something right there. That's
I guess so.
Dan knows everyone. But thank you for being here, brother. Appreciate you. Okay, so
All
we
right.
got the clip. We got the
Neil's question.
transcript.
Let's do Neil's question and then let's head over to the design section.
Sounds good.
All right, sweet.
Neil
All right,
saying, will
Neil.
there be an alternate pricing model less than $19.99 a month? It would be good to maybe start with $5 or $10 a month for beginners, people that want to repurpose low volumes of content.
Yeah, so that is why we have the free forever plan. We want to be able to give people access. I know it's not a ton of access, it's 60 minutes a month, but it should be enough to at least get you going while you're trying to get started, and just help you sort of get that content out there. We do our annual plan is also permanently on a discount, 50% discount. So I think even if you're doing low volumes, my suggestion always is just go get the annual plan. It's $113. It's not going to break your bank for most people, and you're going to get all of the time that you need. It comes front loaded. A lot of people don't realize that. So you get all 2400
Yeah.
minutes right away, and then you can spend them as you need over the course of that year. And when it comes out to when you buy the annual plan is our pricing comes out to 10 cents per clip. Nobody else is even like close to that price, and 20 cents per clip for the 19.99 a month plan. I know it's not the cheapest thing in the world, but 20 cents per clip. I mean, what can you buy for 20 cents in 2023? Not very much. So we're trying our best to keep our costs down. I can't say exactly how much, but our server costs alone are quickly approaching the 5-digit per day range. So it's not cheap to be able to maintain all of this for you guys. We have open AI costs, we have our auto repurposing costs, and we have server costs and a lot of other stuff. We're trying to keep the price down as low as possible. And if you compare us to someone out there like Munch, that's like 5 times our cost, we are definitely the cheapest out there. That being said, all of that said, there are also some of our influencer events coming up and other things coming up. We are going to start providing some special discount links here and there. So stay on the Discord, stick around, keep using Opus Clip. If you have to stick with the free plan for now, stick with it. But Neil, keep an eye out because there will be additional discount special links with limited number of retrievals coming out soon. So keep an eye out for those.
There you go. And keep coming to office hours every 2 weeks because I'll
Yeah.
hopefully have some of the information ahead of time as well and get you a little preemptive
Maybe
information.
maybe we'll drop some discount codes in the next one. So you never know.
That's recorded, brother. Listen, I'm gonna add a marker there so you don't like forget that you just said that too. Okay. You're like, oh no, I didn't actually say that. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. At 43 minutes and 58 seconds. Yeah, you did. Okay. All
So
right. That's
danger of being live. It's on the internet forever
Don't
now.
do it, man. Don't you come on with me. You don't know what you're going to say. All right. Now, we want to be cognizant of your time. I want to continue moving on. Appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you for the comments, sir. Many thanks from Neil. Thank you, sir, for that. You got the answer that you wanted. But wanted to talk about the design piece, right? So I clicked on design. You see at the top where it's got captions and where it's got design. 3 lines per page, 1 line, caption position, auto, top, middle, or bottom. So again, you get to be real granular in terms of how your captions look. But look at these caption transitions. My goodness, man. All right,
Mhm.
that's cool. You got your karaoke action, you got your pop line. I'm all about pop. the third one there, but that's the one that I've been rocking. But the fact that I can put those into my clip, and as you notice as well, each one has its own set of granular customizations as well. So what the font color looks like, what the stroke looks like, you'll see different variations in terms of how you can set that up. So let's go ahead and make this one my pop. Let it run through.
Yeah, you get that little pop
I like
action.
that because
And then
it's
for like,
subtle, right? That's why I like that one. Okay.
for
Now,
sure. And
so
we
so,
are,
so
yeah,
I was gonna say, now think about this though. You make all these adjustments and you get it exactly where you want for one particular one. You want to repurpose that, and you want to continue to look the same as you move forward. You have the ability of creating multiple brand kits as well. So I believe it's up to
exactly.
5 brand kits that are built into the environment. I've only created 2. I'm gonna make some more obviously as well, but I can set the environment and set that framework of what I want each particular brand to look like, colors, transitions, fonts, and all that stuff, and then set it and forget it. Don't have to worry about it down the road. So that's really cool. That's really cool. Go ahead,
Exactly.
man.
And for now, the one that's set as your default, that's going to be the one that automatically applies
Yeah.
to all future projects. We're working on fixing the UX a little bit so that um, you'll be able to select any of the brand templates you want before you click go. So that like
Okay.
let's say your default is set up as one thing, but you know that this project you need a different brand template. Now, very soon you'll be able to select whichever brand template you want before you click go. For now, you need to open up an old project, resave your brand template, your default, and
Yeah.
then go back and drop it in. It's confusing. I know we're working on fixing that, and it should be live very soon. But yeah, I think that one of the fun things we are adding in a lot more caption transitions. Is so far we've gotten really positive feedback from people, and again, like our goal here is not to make AI clips for you, right? We want clips that will
Mm.
perform well. And I think that's the difference between us and a lot of other AI companies out there is like they want to be AI. They want their stuff to look AI. We want stuff to perform. We don't care if it looks AI or not AI. That's up to you. We want to give you all the customization features and tools at your disposal to make the clip turn out exactly how you want, right? So if you don't want anybody to know that you used AI to clip your content, we want to make sure that that's available to you, right? And if you want to be, loud and proud and be like, everything on here is Opus clip, I'm going to make this look super AI, you can do that as well, right? So I think, regardless of what you're going for, right? I think being able to, have all those customization features, we have a ton more coming in the customization space. Soon you're going to be able to make sure that whatever you're outputting, it looks exactly on brand for how you want. For sure. And then one last little thing was just like in those first two, the karaoke and the pop. It's not pop. It's the pop what
Pop line.
pop line. Yeah. So for those two here, go ahead and select karaoke or pop line. That extra color right there, that's going to be the highlighted word color, right? So you see the thing is right now that's in white. If you select a specific color, it'll change it so that the color that's being the word every word that's being emphasized
Yeah.
pops a specific color that you want as
I
well.
see that. Okay.
So a really small thing, but yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. James, I'll let you carry us out.
Well, you wrapping up?
Well, I don't know. Do we have anything else we need to talk about today?
Listen, man. There's always things to talk about.
That's
There's
true. That's
always
true.
no. I'm just messing with you, giving you a hard time. But that's good stuff, man. So I'm gonna go into the Discord. I see some comments coming in right there, and I just want to make sure that folks are getting their questions answered. I think this was a great session. I'm gonna put the links to everything, like I said, the feedback loop, the feature request loop, the clipathon, and things like that. I closed the poll, and the numbers got even right at 50-50. Yes and no. So either more folks logged in that know about it, or someone actually joined and created and opened themselves up an account while we were on. So there we go. Our job is done. We've made it happen. Some folks on LinkedIn appreciate you, man, saying wonderful tool. Going to go test it. So there we go.
Absolutely.
That's all we can ask for. Give it a shot, and if you got any issues, questions, or suggestions, let us know as well. No, man, Connor, this was it, man. So appreciate you again for the time, folks. Every 2 weeks, we're gonna come in here and we're gonna have these conversations, open Q&A, walk through some new features and functionality, and just try to get it done, man. Anything
Yeah.
you want to leave with the audience before we shut down?
Well, thank you for guys so much for joining me today. I won't be joining all of these, but I will be around, and we'll have other brand partners. We got some commitments yesterday morning, so we're going to make sure that the other brand partners stick to those and join for those future office hours as well. And thank you, and for joining, guys. Keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes out. I am serious about those discount codes. I can't promise they'll be time codes. They might be credit codes, but there will be free stuff coming in future office hours. So make sure you guys come by. Feel free to ask questions. Drop links to go to the Discord. Drop links to issues that you're having with your videos. We want to help you guys out. We want to make sure that all of you guys succeed and thrive. That's what Opus Clip we're all about. It's not just about having a product. It's about building a community and making sure that we can actually survive here in this crazy era of content creation. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, James, for your time. And yeah, we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah, all right, man. Appreciate you. That's what we do, y'all. We out.